the Bernie or bust people, you're being ridiculous.
This is what I have to say about Sarah Silverman insulting Bernie Sanders supporters. And I'm not alone. A lot of people didn't appreciate being insulted by her, as you can see from these downvotes. But my video is a criticism of Sarah Silverman, so please give this video a thumbs up. And here's a tweet from Jill Stein, who also sympathizes with the Bernie Sanders supporters and offers a solution. People who supported Bernie Sanders deserve better than to be treated like this. As Jill Stein points out, instead of addressing Bernie or bust folks' legitimate concerns about the rigged primary, the Democrats in Philadelphia are trying to bully them into submission. And as you can see, Sarah Silverman's even insulting them. I think this Republican made some good points.
They have a right to be.
Bernie Sanders supporters have a right to be angry about what has happened.
And we have got to elect Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine.
Truly extraordinary moment. I don't think I've ever seen Bernie Sanders at a rally of his supporters heckled and booed and interrupted like that when he told them to go ahead and support the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee. We're going to get more reaction to this, but I want to bring in Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus. He's here in Philadelphia. Let me get your reaction to Bernie Sanders heckled when he said go ahead and vote for Hillary Clinton. When you saw that, what was your reaction?
Well, my reaction is that they were lied to and the DNC committed a fraud upon them, their own party, their grassroots, and they committed a fraud on the American people. My reaction is they're ticked off. They have a right to be. They were lied, and Hillary Clinton is their nominee based on false pretenses. And so, I mean, I'm not sure whether they have any mechanism to vote their conscience on the floor and rectify the problem or not, but clearly these people were lied to in the most personal way. So, yeah, they're mad, and they should be. Here's the problem. These emails and this personal, really disgusting attack on Bernie Sanders, his religion, his faith, you know, setting up traps to embarrass somebody, it's the type of thing that is, it will be a historical political story for years to come. The fact is, it was all a fraud from the beginning. The debates, the entire operation was a fraud.
Yes, it was disgusting that Democratic National Committee officials were scheming to use atheism as a slur. They have no respect for a core principle of our Constitution. As this Daily News headline says, DNC email effort to smear Bernie Sanders as an atheist reveals the unholy truth of American political life. And Religion News clarifies what those DNC officials were trying to target. It wasn't that Sanders is Jewish. The question was whether Sanders was actually a closet atheist. Results from a recent Gallup poll showed that 91% of Americans would vote for a Jewish presidential candidate, but only 58% of Americans would vote for an atheist. That's a lower percentage than Americans who would vote for a Muslim or an evangelical Christian or a Mormon. So these dirty Democratic National Committee officials were scheming to exploit a prejudice unfortunately held by a large percentage of the American public. I don't know what they're teaching in the schools in America, but that's a shameful disregard for a core principle of our Constitution. In a previous video, I showed how a goon was trying to grab a Bernie sign out of a Bernie Sanders supporter's hands. You can see that video here. And I'll point out that I think Bernie Sanders missed an opportunity. When we found out about these DNC emails, he should use that opportunity to say, you know, I promised to go along with a fair primary process. This has been rigged. Now we know it has been rigged. I'll put a link in the video description to a link to FAIR, which shows that now many of the same people who were mocking the idea that the system was rigged against Bernie now try to play it off like, well, yeah, so what, big deal. So please see these other videos, and at the end of the video I talk about supporting Jill Stein. And I want to make this important point. Remember, there was a point when Donald Trump was only polling at 1%. So don't dismiss the idea that it's impossible for Jill Stein to win the election. If you are outraged at mainstream media manipulation, please use the tools below to share this video with everyone you can.